we constantly feel like we don't have enough information to work with, and so we end up, asking our friends or people we trust to help us, in making decisions or just their opinion on something. And I believe this is because most of our lives we have always had someone to make the decisions for us. So hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lizzy. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back for more. I am the hunter, I am the great unknown. We aren't used to making decisions on our own, and therefore we feel that there is a gap that needs to be filled. And in order to fill that gap, you end up asking for people's opinions and input on a particular situation you're facing. And to be able to trust yourself, you have to train your mind, because let me tell you guys, the mind is everything. So you have to begin by training your mind that it is possible to do this alone, to make the decisions alone. You don't need people's input each and every time for you to make a decision because you have all the information that you need to make that particular decision. You have to know that you're going to make mistakes along the way, because you're not going to always be right, you're not always going to make the right decisions, but it is all part of the process. And the more decisions you make, the more you affirm and trust in yourself to do right in every situation. Oh, that's nice. And funny thing is that sometimes we are not even trying to seek advice or trying to ask for anybody's opinion. We're just excited about a particular situation that you want to share with others. And so you go to that specific person you want to share with. Maybe it's like, maybe you want to pursue a certain hobby or a certain relationship, a certain job or a certain relationship. And the other party may be happy or they may not be happy for you. But you can only know this depending on how much or how well do you know them. And in some cases, you'll find that the person forms an opinion based on the information you shared, and they may try to advise you or warn you, out of love or out of their own malicious intentions, because trust me, you can never know anybody's true intentions when you're sharing a certain piece of information with them. And so they may try to advise you because probably they have experienced the same situation beforehand, and they believe that they are well versed with the subject. So they have an idea of how the situation goes and all that, but they may have had a good or bad experience. And if it's the bad experience, then they are going to try and project their own fears onto you. And when they do that, without even knowing, you're going to start thinking, oh my god, am I doing the right thing? Am I supposed to do it? Do I still want to do it? So you find that you're second guessing yourself, even though initially you are all even though initially you had just decided that you're going to do that thing, you're going to pursue that thing without even necessarily asking for advice. And when I tell you to trust yourself, it's because sometimes even when you're asking for somebody's opinion or somebody's input, we don't necessarily give them all the information. Sometimes you end up omitting some details because maybe it's embarrassing or in case you happen to share all that information, the other person is going to be probably judgmental and they're going to speculate something that may not be the best. So you end up omitting some details, and so even when they give you the advice, it's not going to be, you cannot fully apply it because there is some information you omitted knowing. And also it's funny because even when we ask for advice, we don't necessarily follow the advice we are given. We don't sometimes we just assume it and follow our intuition, because at the end of the day, whatever choice you make, you're going to face the consequences, whether they're going to be positive or they're going to be negative. So we end up just trusting ourselves and believing that we are making the right decision, even though we had sought advice earlier. And I'm not saying that asking for other people's advice is bad or anything like that. No, it is okay, because sometimes you're faced with situations that will probably affect others. And so we end up asking for help because you want to gauge the situation. And the more you learn to trust yourself, you're going to find that you're going to understand, and you're going to know when you need to ask and when you don't necessarily need to ask. Look at this situation. When you create the tendency of always asking someone else for, for their opinion, for their input, you make it seem like you cannot make any decision without going through them, and therefore you bring them into your business. Each and everything that you do, they have to know, and if they don't know, they make it a problem because you have already brought them into your business, and so they feel like they are entitled to know each and everything that happens and goes on in your life. And some people may tell you the right thing to do, and they may try to advise you the best way to go about it, but then you find that there are others that may not be wanting the best thing for you, so they're going to be giving you advice that you end up questioning yourself whether you should do that, even when you know you're not supposed to do it, or you would rather do something else than do what they're telling you to do. But they have this tendency of also making you believe that whatever they are saying is what you're supposed to do and it's the right thing to do. So you'll find that, yes, you see that you can make the right decision, but along the way, these people are making you feel like you're not enough, or you're not able to make, the right decision by yourself. And all that said, I believe it's not necessary for you to ask for somebody's opinion whenever you have to make a decision, because trust yourself and believe that you have all the information you need and you are capable of making sound decisions by yourself. So you know what, trust yourself to do right. So that is all I have for today. In case you've watched till this far, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, leave a comment down below, share this with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Tell a friend, stay safe, and until next time, bye bye.
Everybody know that me, I got the blessing. I come with the fire and I'm blessing. Every day give me challenges, you